I lived in this apartment for 40 years. Life was wonderful. I met Renee in the neighborhood. She used to take me to my clinic appointments and she can give me my medication. I trusted her because of that.
We got wind that the relationship has sort of escalated and the person had now moved in.
Now, this is where things turn. She had problems that Carmen couldn't deal with, as using drugs and stuff like that.
As we came to discover, Renee started to spend all of Carmen's money and none of her bills were being paid. So her apartment went into foreclosure. She was left with nothing. Her entire life savings was gone.
She quite literally was just gone, unable to leave, completely at the mercy of this person who had really taken over her life.
Her phones were cut. The abuser made sure that she had no access. There was one day where Carmen was able to leave the apartment.
She'd ring the doorbell and invite me over to her apartment. It was a bad situation.
And then when they got into the apartment, that's when everyone saw. I don't think anyone had any idea how bad it was.
And we found Carmen on a day that the temperatures were over 100 degrees. You could smell it from the elevator coming up to the 7th floor. You could not go into this apartment without a hazmat suit. Maggots, feces, piles and piles of trash. We found Carmen in the back bedroom. She was so confused. She was not her usual self.
Many older people are living alone, and in response to their loneliness, they often befriend people who may seem like friends, but ultimately turn out not to be friends.
And I said, Carmen, you have a choice. If you want to fight to come back home and get Renee out of your apartment, that's a path we can take. But the only way we're going to get there is if we get you to a facility that can care for you properly.
The Weinberg Center for Elder Justice is the nation's first shelter for people who experience abuse in the community.
The Weinberg team really tried to figure out what services could we provide her and take measures to get Carmen in a place where she could go back home.
Renee really came to be the most deeply interconnected person with Carmen as anyone in the world. And she became her power of attorney. She became her healthcare proxy. She became the beneficiary under her will.
Carmen would not have been able to effectively evict Renee from this apartment if not for them.
Carmen testified very powerfully and was granted an order of protection that was then the mechanism by which we were able to begin the process restoring her apartment to a condition that would be suitable for her to return home.
Carmen needed a lot of one-on-one support. That's the only way she would have gotten those types of services, was having that close-knit team that Weinberg has. Really, there's no other facility I can even compare that to.
Carmen, coming in. How you doing, Carmen?
Whatever it is that we're doing is to reclaim that which each client has told us, this is what matters to me, this is what's important to me, and I want this back. And for Carmen, reclaiming justice was, I want to go back home. Help me get back home.
Oh, you dressed up to go get your hair done today, eh?
Yeah, about time I look decent.
Okay, now this is...
All right, have fun. Okay.
Okay, Carmen, go on in.
Without the people to help me, I would have nothing.
She has people now that are qualified to take care of her.
Shelter is a critical part of a coordinated community response. Without somewhere like the Weinberg Center, it's hard to really even imagine what would happen to Carmen.
And you have multiple people bringing her life back, and sometimes it's kind of hard, but she's back.
Couldn't believe I was home. And I want the happiness to continue. I want to live at peace.